Welcome to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Chris Arnold, and excited about this guest I have today out of Phoenix. If I say the word Phoenix, I know most of you are thinking, man, that's a competitive market. I've got respect for people out of Phoenix because I'm out of Dallas. And if you know anything about cities that are hard to do business in, I would definitely say that Dallas, Texas, and Phoenix are in the top 5. And so I'm excited to talk with Jay Estrada, who is an REI Radio student. And he decided to set up radio because he's got to. He's in Phoenix. He cannot do what everybody's doing in order to get deals because you have some of the biggest names in real estate in Phoenix. And so if you're listening today, what you're going to walk away is, if radio is great and that great, does it work in a city like Phoenix? Because here's my argument, and it's true for Dallas. If it works in Phoenix, if it works in Dallas, it's definitely going to work in your market because those are two of the most competitive markets. So let's hop in. Jay, welcome. Glad to have you, buddy. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I appreciate that you got me on this, and I'm really happy to share whatever I can, for the good of I guess the good of everybody, right?
That's right, man. We're going to add some value today, you and me. So for those that don't know about you, give me just a quick snapshot of how long you've been in real estate. How long you've been in the game?
So I've been in the real estate for about 5 years, and most of it really is all wholesaling. And I haven't left the Phoenix market. I mean, that's pretty much where I've been.
Absolutely. And have you found, again, I was speaking for you. I know that market's competitive, but let's hear from you. How competitive is Phoenix from your perspective?
It's very competitive. You don't just have major investors here. You have gurus. You have people that do seminars. You have big players, big names, right? That people know. And so it's not an easy market to be in. And all the other forms of marketing are really saturated. So, I mean, it costs a lot of money to get a deal.
So let's talk about that. Before you started doing radio, again, I know everyone likes to know, how were you generating opportunities before radio? What were you doing and what was working, maybe what was not working? How were you trying to find motivated sellers?
Well, when I started, obviously it was tough, right? It was tough as heck. And everybody starts out in any type of business. But originally was banner signs. I did banner signs, and then I did some direct mail, doing handwritten with my own handwrite, and then figured out that there's servicing companies to help you. So really it was direct mail and banner signs. Those were my best sources of finding distressed sellers. And later on, I just, got better at other things besides door knocking and so forth. And now, like I said, the last couple of years, I shifted to cold calling. Telemarketing or doing a whole bunch of cold calling. It was good. I mean, it was very good, but this year just changed. I mean, it costs so much to get one contract. And
so you felt like out of all those things that you were doing, kind of have relied on, they really, really got challenged at a whole nother level, which made you kind of step back and go, man, some of this traditional stuff that everybody else is doing, again, who doesn't at this point know about cold calling, ringless voicemail, text blasting, but man, this isn't working for my business anymore. I need to do something new. So let me ask you this. What first attracted you to radio? What made you go, you know what, this has piqued my interest because of these qualities, and I think I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to make this happen in my business. What was it about radio that first brought you in?
Well, radio's been around forever. That's one. I know a couple of other guys in the business that have done radio and they did okay, but they never did it permanently. They did it temporarily. But I mean, the other thing that you talk about, which is very noticeable, is like how many people right now in Phoenix or Dallas or wherever is doing radio. Not a lot of people.
So let me get this right. You're in the most competitive market with some of the biggest names, and you step back and realize even the big boys have not realized the value of radio, even in Phoenix. So your first thing is, hey, man, I've got something over here that I can do that nobody else is doing, even in my market. And I'm going to jump on that because what you could tell is there's virtually no competition, which I hear every single time. It's probably one of the biggest things is like, Chris, you were talking about it. You told me to start listening to the radio. And, you know, a couple of weeks later, I didn't hear one person. You're like,
Yeah,
it's wide open, man. It truly is. So,
I'm saying.
yeah.
And like, again, if someone has done it, it's been for a couple of months. They do it for a couple of months or 2-3 months, and that's it. They're not doing it as a consistent thing in their business.
Yeah. Now let's move over into the setup, right? So you get in, you sign up, you're ready to go. All right, let's make this happen. Let's get radio set up. Now, here's what I like about your story, because of the last 3 people that came on, you know, we talk about their experience in setting it up, and they're like, man, scale of 1 to 10, it was a 2 to 3. Super easy. But you, Jay, your story was different because it took longer for you to negotiate. You know, you're in Phoenix, super competitive market, and radio is working really well for you, but you didn't come in and just get it set up in the first 2 weeks. It took a little bit longer, right? Why do you think that was?
Well, again, we're in Phoenix, the big city. How many radio stations are out there? And how many people are going to get a call from Jay, you know, and say, hey, can I pay these prices? You know, can I do this on your radio station? It's not something that they're going to hear, right? So they're obviously, what's going to happen is they're going to shut me down. They're going to tell me no. Everyone told me no. So, I mean, I'm like, what? I mean, I thought this was, you know, this is supposed to be a little bit easier than that, but that's really the thing is, they're sales guys too, right? So it's not going to be just, oh, I'm going to get in the door, boom, we're done.
Yeah. So you start the process and you're getting no's. They're going, hey, man, don't you realize this is Phoenix? We're not going to accept that price. You're coming in at a rock bottom price that's ridiculous. And so you're starting to go, man, is this thing really going to work in my city? Of anyone to give up, you had the excuse because, hey, it's Phoenix. You know, how everyone is, they throw out the market excuse. Well, it doesn't work in my market. But you persevered, and then what happened? You picked up your first radio station, didn't you? And did they accept that low
exactly.
price?
And it's interesting that the people that I talked to, the radio station I talked to, the one that was the strongest no, we got great businesses, they pay so much, they pay hundreds, you know, a lot of money every month in the marketing or the radio stations, you know. The one that gave me the no was the one that actually I signed up first with. And I don't know. I would say part of it could have been because of the pandemic, right? And things changed, but he was just constantly emailing me. We were going back and forth, and I pushed him away. I actually didn't believe that he was trying to, you know, get me at what I wanted to be at my price. And it turned out he was the one we first signed up with.
Yeah. And so we have a statement, and if you're an REI radio student, you know the insider language we use. And we always tell our students, they always break. They might break on the first call, they might break on the 20th call, but eventually that radio station is going to accept that price because we're persistent and we're patient. And again, we see this with every student across the country. So now, not only do you have one station, you are locking up now your second station that's agreed to your price. And so you're going to be advertising on 2 stations now in Phoenix here shortly, right?
Yes. This is the first person I sat down with. And I thought that was a nice guy, great guy. You know, he has a family, he's a family man and everything. And I thought really that was the person. I thought that was the station I was going to get. And it turned out it wasn't. And now they're actually deciding to come with me. And the interesting enough, Chris, is that the way you show us and what you teach us at the pricing rate we're supposed to offer, I got lower than that on both stations.
So you went below our rock bottom price to like super rock bottom, which is amazing. So I think one of the things we've been surprised about with our students is some have gone below what we consider the lowest we even know how to get, which is cool, which just shows you the power mindset, right? You know, again, it's like, well, we buy houses at 60 cents on the dollar. Who's the guy that comes along and goes, you know what, I'm just going to buy them at 40. I know everyone else's is 60, and 60 is a phenomenal price. Everyone's trying to get 60.
It is in this age right now, this year, it's
Yeah,
it's
you know what I'm
awesome to get
saying?
stuff like that.
So it's amazing. Again, if you're new to radio, what you have to understand is once you lock in that price, it's locked in for a year. And you're getting an ROI because it's at such a deep discount that you close a couple deals, you're already profitable, which means then everything on top of that for the rest of the year is just being added to your bottom line net. And that's why radio has just been so valuable for us year after year, because we get a consistent dollar per dollar return of $3 to $4. That means we're tripling to quadrupling our investment. So you go live. Here's the thing that everyone wants to know. Okay, so great. You got this rock bottom price station. Fantastic. Great. All right, let's talk about deals. Did the phone ring in the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, the first week, the phone did ring. It was actually the second day. And the calls, when you get them, it's a variation of things, but in reality, you're going to get that distressed seller. And it's totally different when you're talking to someone from a radio lead than from a cold calling lead. It's so different.
Let's talk about that. What's the difference when that phone rings and they heard you off radio versus, dialing for dollars and talking to that person? How is that conversation actually different?
Well, I'll give you an example. If someone's in prison and they want to see that person, they put a window up, right? When you're cold calling, you got a big guard in front of you, a shield. You got to break that shield, right? When the lead comes in from the radio, you've already broken that shield. You've already broken that, what do you call it? What they put, the wall they put up in front of you, right?
It's a barrier.
They already trust you. They already feel, you got to do your part, obviously, to make them feel well with you because they don't know you in person, but it's a lot easier.
Professional.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, I totally agree. So you don't have to go through, hey, why are you calling me? All of that type of stuff when you're doing outbound. Again, we're not saying that outbound doesn't work, but we're comparing the two, which is valuable to do, and saying by far the incoming radio call who hears your ad, you have celebrity status, you have instant credibility, right, Jay? Because hey, if Jay's on the radio, he must know what he's talking about because only people on the radio know what they're talking about, or you wouldn't advertise. That is the assumption, that the seller's making. And that's why I'm telling people it's the highest quality lead I know how to generate. And dude, I love your analogy. It really is a great one, of the fact that either there's an automatic guard and somebody's on the defense when you start that conversation, or their guard is down and they're ready to talk business. So here's the big question. How many deals did you pick up, if any, in the first couple of weeks? That's what everyone wants to know. Did you execute anything?
Well, I have in escrow right now 3 contracts, and I got those in the first 2 weeks.
So I know you've been up for about 4 weeks on radio, but the first 2 weeks, you executed 3 deals.
I executed 3 contracts in the first 3 weeks.
And let's remind that again, that's in Phoenix, right? That you're in that we're talking about?
In Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And so, again, I think that drives home. And that excites me because here's the thing. I advertise in Texas. That's my area. That's where I focus, right? And I can talk about radio being the best and the baddest, and I believe that. But when a guy like you comes along that is really going to test this methodology more than anyone else, because you're in Phoenix, right? Mm-hmm. I love it because it was putting fire to whether or not radio is truly as valuable as we're talking about it to be. And I love the fact that you came in, you nailed it, you got call volume, and you executed 3 deals in the first couple of weeks. You only been up 4 weeks. And dude, you're off to a great start. And now you're about to advertise on your second station as well.
And I already got 2. Well, I got 1 buyer in place for one of the properties. The second one, we do have a buyer, which we were going to close on it. Me and my business partner were going to close on it, but we actually have someone that probably will take it down. And the third one, it's a 60-day close. So I allowed that because they need to move somewhere else. And no one knows about that deal except for me.
Yeah.
I haven't told my buyers yet because
that's a pocket deal.
I'm waiting for that window to close. And when I'm ready, it's a property in a great area, and it's one of those lipstick on a pig properties, right? That just need carpet and paint.
Yeah.
They're gonna jump all over that when I send that out to my buyers.
So let me ask you this. Things are a little bit different for you, right? When we started this conversation pre-radio, it sounded like there's a bit of stress. Man, the traditional things I'm doing aren't working. Now we're on the other side of this. You got deals you're working. I see some excitement, some life coming back into you as I've gotten to know you. What do you think the future is for radio for you? You're going to continue to get on more stations? Like, what's your thought process and vision maybe for the next year around radio?
I want to secure, well, I think in baby steps, right? I got to get this next station. I'm going to secure that one. And once that's in place, you taught me that it's better to close, generate revenue first, yes, and then go on to the next station. So, I mean, I think with what I'm doing now, I believe that I don't think I need a ton of radio stations. I think I just need solid radio stations that have good volume, the type that you showed us. And if I get the similar stations like the one I have now, I don't think I'll need more than 3 or 4, man. That's it.
And
I
then
think
you'll
I'll do
be
pretty
set.
well.
Because you're a solopreneur over here, right?
I got to get a team in a couple of months.
Is Jay hustling deals, making it happen? But the flip side of that is you're going to be extremely profitable because you don't have overhead. So, man, I agree. Yeah. You're rocking 3 to 4 stations. That's probably going to be more deals you know what to keep up with. Maybe you throw in another acquisition manager, maybe one closing manager or coordinator to help a little bit. Now you got a rock and roll system, man, generating some great deals and opportunities for yourself. And yeah, if anyone's listening, I always recommend as a principal to lead with revenue. And what that means is, if you launch something like radio versus, launching 3, 4 stations at a time and using a credit card, which is dangerous to do on anything. I don't care what you're doing. You launch that first station, you get some closings, which aren't going to take long. You reinvest that revenue off of radio to go get that second station. And so now you're leading with cash rather than trying to go into debt and then catch back up, which I think is important. So if you're listening, man, Jay, I love this interview. I was really excited to do it just with your story. I wanted to give you some public praise because you stuck with it in a tough market. And dude, if you're not watching this video and you're listening, I recommend you go to YouTube and definitely subscribe to Chris Arnold Real Estate because you're just going to see Jay over here just smiling ear to ear, which I love. And if you know Jay, Jay's kind of a chill guy. So, man, this is Jay energy smiling, ear to ear, which I love. But, man, now's the time. Markets are being sold out. We're preserving radio. We don't want to oversaturate it. So now's the time to book a call, see if your market's open. And if it is, man, it's time to jump on because at this point, proof's in the pudding, man. I'm just continuing to interview more people like you, but it's just one great story after another with people launching on radio. So go to wholesalinginc.com/REI Radio. Again, that's wholesalinginc.com/REI Radio and book a call now and see if your market's open. So wrapping up, Jay, somebody's listening. You were on the other side, right? You were like, okay, here's this radio talk, just somebody else trying to sell something. I get it. I've been there. I'm as skeptical as anyone else when I hear somebody trying to talk about something valuable. What would you tell someone that's listening right now that might be on the fence a little bit? What would you say to them going, you know what? Sounds good. I'm not sure. Sounds too good to be true. What would you tell that person? Wrapping up.
I would tell them that it just in my experience, it is an awesome channel for marketing, and we already had success with it. I've had success with it. Other people having success with it, and I believe that person can also have success with it. As long as they apply all the material that you give us and everything that we're supposed to do, they will also be successful if they persevere. Because I had to persevere, man. I mean, I knew some students they got in right like in the first week. I'm like, man, I took 3 months, man. What the heck, And so if they see that other people are already successful, anyways, they can be successful. They just apply what you teach us. That's bottom line.
And I think that's good. I think that's a good piece of encouragement. It's kind of one of those things I really feel like Jay is saying, dude, listen to my story. If I can do this, so can you. Bottom line. So Jay, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming on, man. It's been great to have you a student. And, you know, now that you've been in for a while, we've gotten to know you as well, man. We got a lot of love for you over here at REI Radio.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And to the rest of you guys, thanks so much for joining. And until next time, we'll catch you soon to add more value. Talk to you later.